I didn't pray. Well then, okay, so today we're going to talk about repairing and repopulating. We're going to talk about that gut. Like, what are you supposed to eat? So you've had 3 days of Karen talking about this microbe and how important it is to have this great microbe count in the gut. But where exactly do you start? So we're going to start today and just talk about prebiotics and probiotics because they're different. A prebiotic feeds a probiotic. Ta-da! So a prebiotic you actually get from food like jicama and Jerusalem artichokes and bananas and onions and garlic, chicory root, dandelion greens. So you're looking at foods that don't digest well. It's a fiber that doesn't digest well, especially in the small intestine. So it passes into the large intestine. And in the large intestine, ta-da, that's where all your healthy microbes should be. And they ferment this undigested fiber, and that is what will help feed the probiotics. It's amazing what goes on in this world of ours here. And so the more prebiotics you can take, and granted, some of you don't walk around eating Jerusalem artichokes every day and chicory root, so you could just buy a prebiotic, but those prebiotics are actually very important to feed the probiotics. So the biggest change will actually happen in your diet because you want to avoid the complex carbohydrates. So now what do you eat? Well, you get into raw nuts and seeds, lots of vegetables, and you get away from no grain, no alcohol, no dairy, no soy, no legumes. You need to cut out the things that are going to feed the bacteria in your small intestine. So the foods that have a fiber or that doesn't digest in the small intestines well is fine. It's going to move forward. But the foods that are going to feed the gut bacteria, you want to start avoiding. So you really actually go into more of I'd say a raw food diet, but you don't need to eat everything raw. You can like steam some of those vegetables as well. But you go into a pretty bland diet. There's a couple diets out there. One's called the SIBO diet. One's called the Food Map diet. Just check it out online. Those are good guides. I personally do a lot of testing, and so I just test our clients as to what the best thing is for them to eat. But those two are really great diets to start with. And then you've probably heard about the 4 R's, right? So you're moving, replacing, repairing, and repopulating. So removing is just what I mentioned. Remove these foods that cause an issue in the small intestine. And then you want to replace that. So you want to replace what's going on in the body. So replacing is like adding enzymes, adding pepsin, hydrochloric acid. So you need to replace what's going on in the stomach so the body can start repairing better. So you remove the things that are causing the issues, you replace it so you can build up your stomach acid. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk about stomach acid long enough here. But stomach acid is so important because if you don't have that stomach acid, which is like 1.9 to 2.5 pH in your stomach, it's supposed to be acidic. If you don't have that, then you get acid reflux or you get GERD or heartburn. And the issue is people then go take like an antacid, and that's not what you need. That is the last thing you need. You can reverse all those issues with your stomach acids, like an acid reflux, usually within 20 minutes for the rest of your life. So see me after class. But anyhow, very important to make sure that you have enough acid in the stomach. So now apple cider vinegar with like garlic and ginger and honey, and you mix that together and you take a big spoonful of that before you eat with some water. Totally important. You want to actually decrease the alkaline area of the stomach. The stomach needs to be acidic, period. If it's not acidic, your pepsin will not start breaking down your proteins. So when we have someone come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I can't break down my proteins, or I do a scan and they're not breaking down their proteins. I did one yesterday. They're not breaking down their proteins. I always look at the gut. That's where it starts. If the amino acids aren't being broken down from the proteins into amino acids, we look at the hydrochloric acid levels and then we increase that level so there's more acid in the gut. So that's what you do during the replace. So you're doing the enzymes, the hydrochloric acid, pepsins, etc. Then we talk about repairing. So now we repair, and I mentioned this earlier yesterday, but slippery elm is phenomenal. Aloe vera is phenomenal. Glutamine is wonderful. Glutamine can help repair the walls of the intestine. Zincs, omegas, vitamin C, E and C, those are wonderful. And omega-3s is what I meant, not just omegas. Oh my gosh, you don't need more omega-6s. So omega-3s, like from your fish and your walnut and your, I almost said karaoke. That has nothing to do with it. But anyhow, so, woo! Karen's mind is too, like thinking about Friday night, actually having a big party on Saturday. Anyhow, so, okay, I'm over it. But we're looking at like fish oil, flaxseed oil, walnut oil. You just get from chewing your foods. You're not going to go buy walnut oil, but you want to get these natural omega-3s. And then the last is to repopulate. So now we've repaired, we've replaced, and now we're repopulating, and that's where your probiotics come in. So now you bring the probiotics in. You don't bring the probiotics in right off the bat. You want to help get the body ready for the probiotics, because otherwise you're going to feed a lot of issues. So you bring the probiotics in. And there are so many probiotics on the market right now. Just try, meet with one of your trusted healthcare practitioners to find out which ones you want to be using. But you do want to get a good probiotic then in the body. But don't jump the gun and start taking them right away. So you want to be able to repair and change the diet a little bit and get the microbe count back where it's supposed to be, and then start taking some of those probiotics. Now tomorrow, Friday, it's German Heritage Day. Is that like a most amazing thing or what, right? So I'm extremely stoutly German, right? I grew up with, raw beef on rye and sauerkraut. Like, it's just what we ate all the time. So tomorrow we're going to teach you how to make raw sauerkraut full of probiotics and water kefir, one of my favorites. I just drank another glass of it before I came out. So these are great ways to add probiotics to your diet. So a lot of words today, sorry about that, but we're looking at prebiotics, feed probiotics. You want to repair the system, you want to replace the system, you want to re-inoculate the system, and you want to remove all the foods that you're eating that are actually causing issues. So this whole gut, it's a step process, and it takes time. It's like if you just start finding out you have all these issues with the gut, just know it's going to take time. It's going to take months for us to get your gut and for you to work on getting your gut back to where it was. But oh my gosh, it is worth it. There's nothing better than having a gut that is working amazing. So eliminate that gluten and the dairy, eliminate the foods that are complex carbohydrates, and check in tomorrow, because we're going to have a lot of fun making kraut and kefir. So leave a little message below. Share with us something that you're excited about, and go ahead and tell your friends about this series, because we have so much more coming. Have a fantastic day.